Good evening, good morning, good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Shauna. Let's get into this. Okay, so guys, I wanted to first come in and if you listened to the segment from last week, we're going to actually go into this later this week before Monday because I received some information. I did a little research and then I received a download from the angels, and then the Most High gave me the confirmation. And he told me to tell y'all that I told y'all something wrong. He said it wasn't wrong. He said I left out some information. So he has pressured me to further elaborate on our topic from last week about shape-shifting and body snatching and the differences. We're going to go back into that, so I'm going to make that a part 2. Okay, that's first and foremost. Secondly, I hope you guys are warm inside somewhere, staying dry, eating a good meal. Okay, even if it's just a little cup of noodles or whatever with some tuna in it and some Doritos. All right, okay. Sometimes you got to hook that thing up. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you got something warm on your belly and something dry on your body and over your head, all praises due to the Most High. Even when you wet and hungry, all right, all the praises are gonna still go up. See? Okay. Now today's topic is about spiritual appropriation. Not even appropriation, appropriateness. So what do I mean by this? Stop halfway teaching your children spirituality or religion. What do I mean by that? Why does a kid know that their foot shouldn't get swept, but they don't know why, and they don't know how to combat if they were to have their foot swept? Why is it bad luck? Why are we teaching our children things that are quote unquote bad or not spiritually appropriate, but not providing them with enough information and tools to be prepared to combat these things if they were to ever encounter them in the event that you are there or not there? So I think the main thing here is to first look at the reality of the world that we live in. We live in a dimension that is pretty much a portal that has, since the middle or the end of 2019, since then has become a very large portal for different this is simply the reason why, because we have all had some sort of spiritual upgrade. Now, why this is important to prepare your children for spirituality in healthy ways is because a lot of children don't even know why things are to be. So this superstition actually causes negative energy to be produced by the child and then henceforth emitted into the environment that they're in. And then they're more likely to pass on this knowledge that it will kind of cause like a cancer, so to speak. So I'm using the foot swept thing, or the sweeping of the foot, if you will, as an example. Black culture, Black American culture, Black Jamaican culture, African culture, the Caribbean, whatever, has a lot of superstition based around it. We can go on and on with things that we may have heard our great grandmothers say that we should or should not do, because it may lead to some catastrophic spiritual event, right? We don't have any real basis to these things. We are just simply following what we've been taught by the elders. And I'm not saying that it's incorrect, but I'm saying that we need to now have a better basis and a better relationship with spirituality. None of us should be confused about why we believe something, or not have enough information, or just simply not understand, right? So if we're going to go about teaching our kids, especially things that are based around superstition, because spirituality is one thing, but to teach your kids practices that may entice them to be more superstitious or in a more fearful or toxic space when it comes to observing things from a spiritual aspect, we need to kind of fill in those blanks, because it'll leave open voids and it'll leave room for doubt. That's where demonic energies and entities can find their place and dwell within your children, because you are teaching them things and you're not giving them the proper basis, the information, or the support to fully operate in this idea that you have instilled in them. So it's really important to, when you teach a child anything about spirituality, to either just completely stay away from it altogether, or pretty much ease it on them in appropriate fashion, or layers. Give it to them in layers, and when I say in layers, I mean everything. Don't just say, okay, yeah, we're going to teach him that we shouldn't sweep his foot and today, and then when he turns 7, we'll tell him why, and then when he turns 10, we'll teach him how to protect himself against that. No. If you're going to introduce spirituality to a child, it needs to be an even playing field. You do not. Trust me, I'm one of those children that was exposed to a lot of spiritual things at an early age, and it left me to roam on my own. Now, if your child has been selected by the Most High and the angels to carry out hierarchy plans, then I would say that they'll be fine, and you do not have to give them anything. That the Most High will see to it that they have the proper guidance and protection and information handed to them at the right time, right? And this is for the chosen, for the star seeds, for the indigos, for the psychics, for the healers, for the mystics, anyone who is a part of the spiritual community who has been given a higher responsibility for the betterment of humanity, then this message wouldn't necessarily apply to them. Of course, we all think our children are special and unique and different, but when it comes to the spiritual world, some children have greater responsibilities and a higher level of sensitivity and access to spirituality than others. And as a parent, you have to be honest with yourself and say if your child is one of those children or types of children. Maybe they're too young for you to notice. Maybe you don't know what to look for, or maybe you simply don't care. That'll be, something that God's going to take care of. But if you are a regular, average parent who does not believe that your child is spiritually gifted, and we all have spiritual gifts, but I mean enhanced spiritual gifts that have become noticeable early on. That's what I mean by that. If your child doesn't fit into that category, then it may behoove you to not give them access to spiritual anything until you feel you are ready to fully equip them. And when I say fully equip them, I mean give them this information, and don't give them half-ass information. Give them information that's going to be vital to their survival, to their lives, right? To their livelihood. And give them information pertaining to background, right? Where is this stuff rooted? Where is it coming from? And how do we combat it? Because I don't want to sweep a kid's foot and then they're going crazy like, oh, my mom said don't sweep my foot. And I'm like, why? And they're like, it's bad luck. And I'm like, why? Where'd you get that from? Who told you that? And they're like, I don't know. That's what my mom said. And my mom told my grandma. My grandma told my great-grandma. And my great-grandma told my great-great-grandmother. And I'm like, okay, so where's this coming from? And I'm like, okay, well, what did we do to stop it if you do sweep your foot? Oh, you have to spit on it. Why? Right? So we have all these different things that's kind of like this. We're perpetuating this cycle of this illusion that we're aware, but in all reality, we are really misinformed and just carrying out these really odd beliefs without a real basis. So I think it's really important to ground yourself first as the adult, because as the adult, you have a stronger sense of self, meaning your spirituality has a better idea on where to go and what to seek. I mean, this this is for the people who are upright. If you worship the devil, or if you have entities that have attached themselves to you, you need to cleanse your energy, do a fast, start praying, do some exercising, and really work on your relationship with the Most High before you commence to bring a child into a space, because you can very well be teaching them something that the Most High doesn't want them to know, right? So it's always best to check in with yourself first and really give yourself the proper tools, to navigate the spiritual aspect of life. These environments that we tend to thrive in usually happen when we're comfortable, right? So you don't want to put your kid, or any child for that matter, in a space of mental uncomfortability, right? The last thing you want to do is make a child feel uncomfortable about anything. I don't have any children. However, the best advice that I would have to something like this is to pretty much just remind anyone who's listening that you were too once a child, and think about how smart you were when you were a child. Like, I don't think any of us are dumb. Even if you have like some kind of mental disability or whatever they want to label people and call them now, even if you have been diagnosed with something, you're still pretty intelligent. I don't really think there's any dumb people on the planet now, and especially this is going back to the era that we're in. You can't be stupid. You cannot be ignorant. We have literally access to information that's almost just really, really weird and crazy. Like, you have access to tons of information that whatever it is that you needed to know, you can get access to at least 50% of a credible source of information for whatever topic it may be that you are seeking to learn more about. So I'm gonna end this with just really, really try to open yourself up to the Most High and try to figure out what it is that He wants. God definitely protects children and fools. So I don't think we have to worry about the kids, but I think it is important to keep in mind that children are young adults, right? They're going to grow up to be adults one day, right? By the grace of the Most High and His mercy, because He is so merciful. So you want to prepare them. And if you build up a child to have a stronger sense of self, a stronger spiritual base, then you'll do less worrying, I promise. As a parent, like I said, I don't have kids, but I was heavily involved in raising a child from a really young age, from the time he came out up to today. And I will say that giving that child full access to information that they can use to not just move forward in life, but to build themselves up spiritually and emotionally, is something you could never go wrong with. And that starts with you having a good relationship with Source and your angels, and you living in your purpose and doing the right thing. So I'm just gonna end this with just, let's try to inform the kids in ways that's fully healthy, and can leave no room for fear and doubt to creep up in these children, because this is where the birth of these demonic influences are born. We're gonna definitely go into this further. I just wanted to scratch the surface, because I don't want nobody to feel like I'm calling them a bad parent, because I really am not. I just received the download from the Most High. I had a whole bunch of topics written down, and today He told me this is what we were going to talk about. I have topics for days, and I literally had a topic planned yesterday. I was going to record, and now I see why He stopped me from recording that message I was going to record it yesterday and then upload it today. And he was like, no, don't record that. Like, don't do that. And then today, earlier, he told me what he wanted me to discuss. So, you know, I'm trying my best to be obedient, and I pray that you all are, and I pray that we are given mercy and love even within our disobedience, and that our hearts are corrected, you know, according to the will of the Most High and not anything else. So I love you guys. I hope you are dry. I hope your weekend was well. And I hope y'all are drinking your water, eating your fruit, and minding your business. Okay, y'all? I truly, genuinely love y'all. I hope all is well. And I'm going to get ready and go. Check me out on YouTube at Inappropriate Radio TV. Peace.